Well, hey, this is Rhonda Simmons, the founder and CEO of the Simmons Empowerment Foundation and Rhonda L. Simmons LLC. I am so glad to be with you again for another episode of Empowered Heart to Heart. You know, this is a show where we have real talk with real people who have overcome real issues. It's so important that we understand that we can overcome. And so our show is to empower women to know that they can move past whatever situation that they're facing. And today's episode is no exception. You know, I keep saying this and I keep saying this that I have met some of the best people this side of heaven. I have interviewed people from all over the world. In fact, our podcast has gone global and I am so excited about that. We've got people downloading our podcast all over the world and I want you to keep doing it. In fact, if you're even watching the video on YouTube, make sure that you like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe so that you'll be notified every time a new video is posted. If you're connected to social media, look us up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter at the ID of TSEFIORG. We're there. We're out here. We're making an impact on our communities and on the world because it's all about empowering women. One of the things that I also like to note is that we take a holistic approach to women's empowerment. Sometimes as women, we can have everything going right in most areas of our lives, but then there's that one place that is just dysfunctional and not working. And it may be something different. It may be our health, it may be our finances, it may be our relationships. And so this podcast is here to help women holistically reach the next level in their development, whatever that may be. And so check out any and all of our episodes because I know that you'll find the help and the empowerment and the encouragement that you need through any one of those episodes. As I like to say, we offer messages of hope, conversations that heal, and interviews that empower. And today we have one of those empowering interviews. I am so excited because I have a special guest who is from outside of the United States. And she is wonderful. Her name is Kathy Baldwin. And let me tell you, she is just like me and you. She has been through so much. She has overcome depression. She has overcome burnout and anxiety and even fibromyalgia. She's been through a lot. And you know, we're here not to celebrate the losses, but we're here to celebrate the process of overcoming. That's the key. Nobody is saying that poof, just like that, you'll wake up tomorrow and all of your problems will be gone. Come on. We're real people with real issues engaging in real talk. So we understand it's a process. And so here to share her process of overcoming with us, because this is the Overcomer series, is Miss Kathy Baldwin. Hello, Kathy. How are you?
I am awesome and so happy to be here.
Wonderful. Great to have you. I am so excited that you took the time to be with us today and to be on our show. And so everybody wants to know, how did you overcome fibromyalgia and depression and anxiety and burnout? How did you do it?
Well, I broke. Humpty Dumpty fell down and the pieces didn't go back together. I actually had a full-on nervous physical breakdown because I was too strong for too long and I was ignoring what my body was telling me. And so my only choice was life or death. And so I chose life, and I've created a 3-step process that is what I use to purposely heal myself.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. So, of course, we want to know about this 3-step process, and we're not trying to make you give away the process.
No,
But
no.
if someone's watching or listening today and they're suffering from depression and they're thinking, all that sounds really neat and tidy in a little package. What can you offer them um, to let them know that there is help and hope?
Well, that's a big, long question, isn't it? So I'm not sure which part of that I'm going to answer, except to say that what I found was the reason that I broke was I was out of alignment. When you use the word holistic, I spell it with a W. So WHOLE, istic. And what I found was that I was not integrated. I was giving so much away to so many different people, so many different reasons, job, family, all of that, that I became twisted and totally misaligned. So when we have depression, when we have anxiety, I've learned that your body is saying, whoa, 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 something's going on. It's time to take care of you. It doesn't mean that we're broken. It's just our body talking to us and saying, stop, you're going too far.
Wow, wow. You are absolutely right. I can think of distinct times in my life and that happen more often than I care to admit, where my brain is saying, go, go, go. And my body is saying, not today. And I can't. It's not even a matter of, I'm just choosing to take a mental health day or choosing to take a day off. It's literally my body will not go at the pace that I want it to go. And
Mm.
wow, wow, that is
Do,
amazing.
do you mind if I challenge something you just said?
Absolutely, go ahead.
I wrote a book called Unlearn the Crap.
Ooh,
Part of what I heard you say was that it's not that you didn't want to, or you didn't want to take a mental health day.
mhm.
That is part of the crap that I believe has been socially put on us, that says you're not supposed to take care of yourself. You have responsibilities, you have things you have to do. It's way more important than what you're going through. And we've been disempowered on listening to our body and listening to our needs. And that's what brings us down.
I could not agree with you more. It is so ironic that you mentioned that because I'm wondering, is that something that you find primarily with women because we tend to think that we have to be all things to all people all the time?
I think it's different for the sexes. For women, we want to take care of everything and everybody. It's part of what our social conditioning is supposed to be. Um, I was born in the 60s, so I came through the 70s and 80s, and we were in the middle of a transition time of women being the caretakers at home, and we were transitioning into moving into business. And we were never told you could let go of doing it all. We just kept adding to our plate more, more, more. And with men, I think that the stigmatism of rising to what a man is supposed to do and expected to do, whether it's in alignment with who they are, it's the same thing. People are being shoulded to death.
I like that new verb. Yeah, shoulded. Okay. I'm chuckling because I was an English teacher, so yeah, I love the new verb. So, but you're so right. We have this way of thinking. It actually reminds me of a Bible verse that says, "You've taught for doctrine the traditions of men." Meaning that you took what you've been doing all the time because that's the way we've always done it, and you made a law out of it. This is how
Mm.
it should be. And it's it's sad, and sometimes we're blind to realizing what is actually a law and what is actually a habit or
Mm.
passed down tradition.
Absolutely. Um, I'm not a Bible person, but I do know that there's a verse that says something about the sins of the father will go down for 7 generations. Well, Dr. Bruce Lipton is a cellular biologist, and he has proven that when you change the environment, that the DNA changes. So for me, that means that until we heal what has happened in previous generations, we are continuing that down our DNA strand. And it is now becoming part of our physical being. So the sins of fathers or generation, until we stop and heal, we are carrying the burdens of previous generations.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with that. So, how did you know to create this three-step process? Did did you go to doctors? Did you just wake up one day with a plan? How did you arrive at this process?
Oh, I wish it was that easy. No, I went to doctors and I went to psychiatrists and I went to doctors. And one of the worst moments of my life was after seeing a psychiatrist, and he had opened up Pandora's box by having me put down every trauma, every pain, every stress, everything that I'd ever gone through, and then wrote me a prescription and said, "Here, I'll see you in 3 or 4 months." I spiraled, and I spiraled to the point where the police had to knock down the door and drag me out to the hospital. That was the moment. That moment when I woke up in the hospital and there was security watching me on a suicide watch. And I didn't know who I was or where I was. And after about 12 hours, I could feel my body start to come back. I could feel my brain, and all of a sudden I went, "What happened? How did this happen to me?" And so I realized I can't trust the doctors. I needed to take care of this myself. And what I did was, thank God, I had been a student of learning for 40 years, everything from neurology to biology to quantum physics and personal development and every part of this. It was just something I was fascinated with. So when I got out of the hospital and I said, "Okay, we're literally here at life and death, and this is something you have to take care of yourself. You can't trust anyone else." And so I slowly, methodically used everything that I had in my past, whether it was from my business world, where I used management assessment and going to root cause analysis. And then I started to slowly go, "Okay, this is what's broken. This is what I need to fix." And I purposely mapped everything out as I was going step by step. The 3-part process became obvious to me once I was healed. Once I realized that I had stepped into the greatest version of myself, the woman I'd always dreamt of being. And I thought, I have to share this. And I thought, how do I take that spaghetti mess of what I went through and be able to share that with people? And so the 3-step process came out of that. It wasn't just downloaded to me.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You know, Kathy, that just speaks of your own inward tenacity to work through this process. And it doesn't sound like you had any outside support.
No, no, it was amazing. All of the things that I had been people pleasing and self-sacrificing, and all the things that I did were afraid of losing people. And there I was, alone on the floor, crying, and I realized everything I was afraid of losing has happened, and I'm still here. Okay. And as I went through my healing process, I actually realized that some of those things and people and processes or whatever that I was trying so desperately to hold on to were actually part of what was bringing me down. And I needed to let go of that so that I could step into who I was. So yes, that moment of time where I was isolated, I was alone, there was nothing, there was nobody, there was just me, was the greatest gift in the world because I had nothing or nobody to speak to and nobody to take care of but myself.
Wow, that is
Mm,
so very, very powerful. So,
mm.
how did you know when you were healed enough to turn around and help somebody else?
That's a great question. The first time was when I started to sing. The radio came on and I started to sing and dance, and I went, who is she? She's back. And I realized that joy had come back into my life and that my thinking was clear and I had vision and I had purpose and I felt so alive. Instead of before my breakdown, I was constantly telling people, I'm empty. I'm empty. I have nothing left. I'm broken. And it was one of those things where you kind of wish that you might have an accident or something bad would happen to you just so you could get off of the roller coaster and rest.
Wow. Wow.
I know that was answering a lot more than you asked, but
No, no, that was so on point. Um, wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. And I got a mental picture of you singing and dancing around the room to the radio.
well, I did a vision board, which is something that people always say. And I had Tigger on my vision board because people used to say that I was Tigger because I was so bouncy and full of energy and ideas. And I would dance down the grocery store aisle to music. And, I just had so much life and energy in me. And when I became empty, I turned into Eeyore and there was nothing fun about me. So yeah, when I started to reconnect to who I was and I unlearned all that crap that was tearing me down and disempowering me and all the lies that I believed that were programmed into my brain that had nothing to do with who I was. Yeah, when I found myself coming back, it was amazing.
Wow, that is so transformational. Well, I am so excited. You mentioned that you wrote a book. I love it. I love the title, Unlearn the Crap. Love it. And
Well, I think I told you that I was born in the 60s, so I was going through the 80s and 90s, and all the things that I was told that was going to make me successful, that was going to make me strong and empowered, it was all lies. It broke me.
yes, yes, I was born in the same decade, so I can relate. I definitely understand. So when people go to your site here, and we have it up on the across the bottom of the screen, and I'll put it in the description around the video and the podcast. When people go to this site, are they just going to see, oh yeah, I can purchase a book, or will they be able to contact you? What can they do at this site?
Well, first of all, this site has been a project I've been working on for quite some time. And my goal when I started all of this was not to have people break. If somebody had caught me before, I fell and went into pieces. So what I have created is a self-assessment tool where people can go in and see how close are they really to having a full-on breakdown. What are the danger signs, and bringing it to their attention. So yes, after the quiz there'll be lots of ways for them to contact me. I do have programs and coaching and VIP days and my book. I have all sorts of different ways of reaching people where they are and what they need, but this self-assessment is an eye-opener so that you don't have to break in order to heal.
Wow, that is fantastic. Fantastic, Kathy. So here you are, the healed you, and I'm so honored to be sharing this time with you. Um, so where do you see yourself in the future? 5 years, 10 years, however future you want to make it. And where do you see yourself?
I see myself traveling around the world, showing people that they were born with everything they need. God didn't make any mistakes. We are interconnected, interrelated systems that are interrelated and interconnected to the system of the world. Everything that each one of us has and came here for is part of the global rising up to become the best version of our world. I see AI becoming an automation, taking away all of the physical labor things and the repetitive tasks so that we can step into who we really are, what our gifts are, and we can use our creativity, our innovation, our imagination, and really bring the world to a place of expansion and beauty and just let all that lower energy stuff go away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am so glad that you are a part of our world and a part of the healing process. I'm so glad that you're here, that you've shared your story with us today. And I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. You are part of what is bringing this world up. You are bringing your gifts to the world. You are part of the voice that is sharing and reaching out and grabbing people. So please don't just thank me. Turn around, thank yourself, thank all of the people listening, because each one of those people changes the world by changing and healing themselves.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, Kathy, again, I appreciate you. And if you will just hang out just for a minute, I'm going to wrap up the show and I'll be right back with you, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if you were not encouraged, empowered, and inspired by that interview with Kathy Baldwin, I don't know what will do it for you. There is a way out. And let me just pause and have a very serious moment here. Suicide is not that way out. If you didn't get anything else from this interview, suicide is not the way out. Make sure that you are reaching out for help if you need it. Here is the website to reach Kathy. And in 2024, no matter where people are, we're literally just a video away. We can connect. There's no such thing as we cannot connect, no matter what continent you're on, what time zone, where you are on the planet, we can connect. Reach out to Kathy so that you can get the resources that you need and you can get the support that you need, because where there's life, there's hope. So we need you to stay alive. We don't want all of your talents and your gifts to be buried in a cemetery somewhere. We want you to take action and to be healed so that you can bless somebody else and you can grow and thrive and be who God has created you to be. And so, as I always like to say, be encouraged, be inspired, be uplifted, and most of all, be empowered. And I'll see you on the next edition of Empowered Heart to Heart.